Hi, I'm telling you a story based on true events. In a small town, an old man discovered a lottery error that allowed him to earn millions of dollars. The story begins with Jerry. The old man wakes up early and drives to work, a cereal factory. This is his last working day. At the meeting, everyone praises him and says he was the best manager ever. For 42 years without layoffs, he worked at this factory, and now it's time to retire. The scene moves to the house, where Jerry and Marge are sitting at the table with their family, as well as friends. Everyone is celebrating Jerry's retirement together. After a toast, friends suggest he join the real estate business, but the old man refuses and says he'll just sit at home all day. As a joke, he suggests consulting for Doug's construction company if he pays him, but his son didn't like this suggestion. The relatives tease the old man a bit, since he himself doesn't know what he'll do in retirement. That's why they gave him a new boat so he could go fishing in his free time, which he'll have a lot of in retirement. Jerry really liked the gift.
Boy, this is great. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
But when everyone left, he quietly admitted to Marge that he doesn't even have fishing clothes. After all, he always only wore work shirts. However, even a month later, Jerry still hasn't used his gift. The boat still stands in front of the house. Jerry, as usual, goes to the diner, gets coffee, and solves Sudoku. After this, he goes to his friend and accountant, Steve. All his life, Jerry has been saving money and now invests it in real estate. Jerry doesn't understand how Steve can work as an accountant with only 6 clients, but his friend replies that he got a job at a travel agency. Steve informs Jerry that his savings have grown by only 2% and suggests he invest in stocks. But Jerry refuses, as he considers it too risky. The old man decides to take his boat out for the first time, but while launching to the river, he forgets to put the pickup in handbrake, causing his car to start sliding into the water. Miraculously, he manages to save his pickup, but breaks his boat's engine in the process. Completely disappointed, he returns to the diner for another cup of coffee. At the table, he saw an advertisement for the Windfall Lottery. He carefully reads the rules, and thanks to his high intelligence notices something strange. Thanks to mathematical calculations, he immediately understood that he could make money from this. They made a mistake in their own rules. During rolldown, that's when the prize fund reaches a certain amount, but there's still no winner. The lottery lowers the threshold for winning. Instead of 6 numbers, only 4 need to match. So, if he buys a lot of tickets, the chances of winning are huge. Jerry immediately runs to Steve. His friend and accountant didn't believe it and thought Jerry had gone crazy. So Jerry is afraid to invest in stocks, but is ready to buy a bunch of lottery tickets.
Why not? Because it's the lottery, Jerry.
The old man went to the bank and asked the teller Mindy to give him $2,000. Jerry even promised Mindy he'd return with at least 20% profit. He didn't sleep all night and was anticipating easy money. And now Jerry is in the store buying 2,000 lottery tickets. The cashier thought he'd gone mad. That same evening, he watches the lottery. When Marge, his wife, comes, he had to quickly turn off the TV. This was needed so she wouldn't suspect anything. As soon as she leaves, he continues writing numbers in his notebook. The next morning, Jerry checks his tickets. However, the old man realized he made a mistake. He's down a whole $300. For a long time, he was depressed and couldn't understand where he made the error. During a game with his friends, he even forgot what game they were playing.
Full house.
We're playing gin.
After the friends left, Marge asks her husband what happened. The old man replies that he feels like he's missing a purpose in life. He worked at the cereal factory all his life. Marge reassures him and says that luck comes as often as bad luck. This phrase showed Jerry what he was doing wrong.
Oh man, what a dummy. Not you, me.
He rushed to the bank as quickly as possible. On a coin, he explained the whole thing to Mindy. Flipping a coin 2,000 times, heads will come up 60%. And if you flip a coin 5,000 times, heads will come up 50%. Thus, he'll need to buy even more tickets to increase his winnings.
The sample has to be large enough to take luck out of the equation.
The bank employee didn't understand anything and said she doesn't like math. Jerry bought another 8,000 tickets. During lunch, friends start talking about the windfall lottery, and they start laughing at people who spend thousands of dollars on lottery tickets.
Thanks.
There
we go.
A couple hours later, the old man is sitting in the diner again. And this time, he didn't make a mistake and won $15,000. The old man was afraid to tell Marge about the winnings and therefore hid all the money in popcorn. The next day, Jerry's family comes over for a barbecue. And here, granddaughter Lizzie wanted to take popcorn from that very jar. Jerry takes the popcorn from the girl and locks himself in the closet. Here he decided to move the money to a cereal box and returns the jar to Lizzie. But in the evening, his wife comes to him outside. Thinking that Marge knows everything, he himself admits that he plays the lottery and wins big money.
Wow.
But his wife praised her husband and said that in retirement, life is just beginning. Now is exactly the time to take risks. The next morning, they went to buy more lottery tickets, but the cashier reports that the windfall lottery was closed in their state. Now, to buy lottery tickets, they need to go to Massachusetts, but the drive there would take at least 10 hours. They told their idea to the accountant, and he decided to invest some of his money too.
I'm in too. But what the hell? Put me in for 1,000.
The next morning, Marge woke up before her husband and started packing food for the road. They quickly gathered and left for Massachusetts. And here they arrived at their destination.
Doesn't look like much.
Well, all we need is a ticket machine, right?
Inside, they met the owner, Bill. Here they bought 8,000 tickets for $16,000. It took 8 hours. In the evening, the couple decided to stop at a motel that was very old.
I don't think this door locks.
Right that night, the old folks started checking their tickets. They worked all night, and by morning, all the work was done. In the end, the old folks managed to earn $21,000. Net profit was $5,000. Collecting their winnings, Jerry was very nervous. He thought they just wouldn't give him the winnings, but everything ended well, and the workers just congratulated him. The spouses started thinking that besides them, someone else knows about the error. And they were right. At this time, Tyler, one of the Harvard students, is studying the chances of winning the lottery. Seeing the windfall lottery ticket, he starts to suspect something. Late in the evening, Jerry and Marge return home. And at this moment, the old man realized he needs to scale up even more. After all, according to his calculations, the more you invest in the lottery, the greater the chance of high profit. Besides greater profit, he could help his town and friends. The next morning, the old folks came to the accountant. They told him they want to start their own company and involve the whole town in it. People buy a place in the company, and if they win, the profit will be divided among everyone. Steve likes the idea and helps organize everything. In the local diner, they explain the whole thing to acquaintances. Jerry explains that a place in the company costs $500, but the residents didn't really understand much. They were more interested in the company name and its logo.
Do you have a logo?
Don't need a logo.
Logos help. I have a pig on a tractor.
But in the end, everyone liked the idea. Someone even pawned their ATV because they didn't have money. Marge told the idea to friends, Howard and Shirley. They immediately joined. Shirley said she loves everything illegal, to which Marge replied that everything is legal. Jerry will even pay taxes on every win. The old man told his daughter about his business, who immediately agrees. He also told everything to his son, but he didn't really like the idea, as he holds a bit of a grudge that his father didn't always understand his son in childhood. Granddaughter Lizzie also asked to be in the business, and he asked her to draw a logo. Marge and Jerry drove again to that old gas station for windfall lottery tickets. Owner Bill even managed to become friends with them. This time, they wanted to buy tickets for $40,000. Bill couldn't understand where the old folks got such money and asked to join them.
I'm in. Can I be in?
Only by nighttime did they manage to print all the tickets when the gas station owner told his friends about the lottery. Now Jerry's company has 2 more investors. The old folks stopped at the same motel. Now they had to sort twice as many tickets as last time. Jerry suggests his wife buy more coffee and start counting. But then suddenly a spark appeared between them that hadn't been there for a long time. Early in the morning, someone knocks on their door. It's Bill, who came to tell them that the lottery sent a count of tickets from his store. that he only sold to them. The old folks were able to earn $82,000. Meanwhile, in Boston, an editor, frustrated by the lack of incidents, pressures the journalist and says he needs some very loud and viral news. The business gradually progressed. Jerry kept raising the stakes before roll down. They save every losing ticket, so they always have an answer for the tax office. But one day, the accountant called him. He and everyone who invested their money in the lottery wanted to know how things were going. The investors were very happy when they learned that the amount had doubled. But the action returns to Harvard. One student realized that if you bet at least $10,000, the chance of winning is very high. But he doesn't have that kind of money. Although he's from a very rich family, he doesn't want to ask his parents for money. That's why Tyler and his friend decided to collect money from all the students. That's why he asks all students to ask their parents for money. And students also had to fill out 300 forms by hand.
You're not filling any out?
No. I'm in charge.
At this time, Jerry and Marge's family friends decided to restore the abandoned amphitheater with the money they earned from the lottery. Jerry's son tried to talk them out of it, but he couldn't. The old folks realized that people would soon learn about their earnings. So in the cafe, they tell friends that their next goal is to buy tickets for $600,000. And they weren't wrong. One journalist noticed a strange thing. Jerry wins too often and too much. During ticket printing, Bill's wife bursts into the store, steals beer, and drives away.
Loser!
Bill explains to Marge that his wife is angry because he filed for divorce. The wife thought he just wouldn't have money for it, but thanks to the lottery, he was able to earn it. At Harvard, Tyler tells students that they won $50,000 and can earn even more money, but they need discipline. At this moment, Eric hacked the windfall site and realized that the winnings are coming from one place, Bill's store. With such a large number of tickets, the old folks print them there all day. Today is their wedding anniversary. Jerry goes to the store to Marge. Before going to her, he starts fixing his hair. Marge notices this and starts laughing. The old man opens champagne, the cork hits the ceiling. The spouses start drinking champagne, which was slightly expired. Jerry turns on the radio and they start dancing. But then suddenly those two students who also know about the lottery error come to their store. Tyler and Eric start laughing at the old folks. They expected to compete with some mafia, not two elderly people.
we thought it was gonna be like a crime syndicate or something.
The students suggest joining forces, but the old folks just kick them out. Finally, Tyler decided to show off his knowledge of mathematics. However, Jerry proved to him that he knows much more than him, making the teenagers furious.
Seriously? Shut up.
Bill finishes his lawsuit with his wife. He gives her the house, but keeps all shares in Jerry's company. Only then does she realize that he tricked her, and she shouldn't have agreed to his terms. Jerry's accountant has already bought himself a red Corvette. In the cafe, he tells him that there's another group that knows about the lottery loophole, but they decide not to give up and stay in the game. The action moves to Boston. The journalist meets with CEO Grazio. She wants to ask him a couple of questions. Does he know about a man from Michigan who wins a lot in the windfall lottery?
I didn't say he was a retiree.
Grazio leaves, saying he has an important meeting. So he knows everything. He just doesn't want to talk about it. Jerry, as usual, goes to the diner, gets coffee, and sees student Tyler, who recently came to them. He no longer wants a partnership with them. The student tells the old man that he hacked the windfall site, and if the old man doesn't leave the game, he'll hack all accounts and all records. This enrages Jerry. He realizes the student has beaten him. Jerry returns home and tells Marge they're leaving the game. At the investors' meeting, the old man says the game is over, but his son convinces his father that there are still chances to win, and he told him that every resident of the small town believes in Jerry. And now they can't give up. The next morning, his wife also starts convincing Jerry that they need to take a risk. The old man didn't think long. Upon arrival, Bill greeted them joyfully. The students also bought a lot of tickets and realized that the old folks are still playing with them anyway. Then Tyler had an idea to create their own roll down so that Jerry and other participants wouldn't know about it. But for this, They need $1 million. The students went to the golf club. They managed to convince millionaires, and now they're going to buy lottery tickets. Bill arrives right away and says they missed the roll down. Jerry immediately realized that those same Harvard students are involved. So the old grandfather drives straight to their campus. Upon his arrival, Tyler starts laughing at the old folks. However, Jerry starts opening everyone's eyes to Tyler's actions. All students understand that he used them only for his own benefit. The action moves to the accountant's office, where our heroes discuss what to do with the teenagers who are preventing them from winning. And then Jerry gets an idea. They go to a meeting with the state lottery managers. Jerry proposes making the website show the current jackpot amount. This wouldn't allow anyone to create a roll-down prematurely, and Marge in turn asked to install 2 machines in their town.
We'll take care of it.
Tyler was discussing his business with a new partner, and then he learns that Windfall will now post the amount of money until the jackpot on their website. Now their scheme stopped working. This very much angered the students. Coming to campus, Tyler saw that all the people left. No one wanted to bet by his rules anymore. Eric tells him they did the wrong thing. Egoist Tyler quarrels with him and leaves. The journalist can't leave this story alone. She found a list of all lottery winners and found a pattern. Every 3 weeks, Hank and Tyler win the lottery. Jerry and his son are fixing the pickup and throwing a ball to each other. A journalist comes to them. She's very surprised that the old folks count tickets in a hotel room for 11 whole days. In the office, the journalist realizes that the couple helped the whole town. But the editor doesn't want to see an article that praises them. He needs a loud headline. The old folks, as usual, arrived at Bill's gas station. But then they see Windfall machines being removed from the store. It turns out the lottery revoked the license.
You didn't see the article?
Tyler's father came for him, showing him a fresh newspaper issue. The journalist decided to portray him in a bad light. After all, Tyler is actually an egoist who wanted to earn money only for himself. Marge and her daughter watch the news, which talks about the closure of the Windfall lottery. Jerry is a bit upset that they missed the last roll down, on which they could have earned well. The accountant arrives in his Corvette and tells the old man that the investors want to see him.
Are they upset?
If I told you that, you wouldn't come.
The residents threw a party in gratitude for everything they did. It turns out the residents themselves went around the state buying tickets. They even brought them on a tractor. The couple only had to count everything. Every resident is grateful to the couple for restoring and glorifying their small town. At the festival, everyone started dancing a slow dance, and even the accountant found himself a partner. That's how this story ended. Jerry and Marge won a total of $27 million in the lottery.
He made how much?